3.5 is going to briefly review the material from our last lesson, which is 3.4, before we look at another type of three-step equation. Again, remember that this is not really a three-step equation. It's just an equation where we have to simplify or combine terms first, and then we actually solve. So the portions of the problems that force you to think have been taken away. That's the one where you have to write, what numbers are with it and who moves first. So it's very necessary that you are disciplined whenever you do this work here or follow these notes. So again, I'd copy these notes or watch me work it out, and then once I get to the end, copy the problems after you pause it. But whatever it is, make sure you understand exactly why I'm doing it. So honestly, if I was a student, I wouldn't even pick up the paper until after I finish, and then once the problem is finished, I'd pause it and then copy the work so I could actually see what's going on, and then copy the notes after that. But anyway, remember we moved the bottom number first. It's divided by 5, so we will multiply by 5. The 5s go away. 6g comes down. 12 times 5 is 60. You can trust me on that. How do I move the 6 when it's being multiplied? Well, I divide by 6. Divide by 6. G comes down with 10. And that's all. So as I said, as we get further and further, this stuff gets kind of old, gets kind of easy, which is good because it's really not that bad. 8/9 t equals 24. Again, if I want to move this 9, it's divided by 9, so I will multiply by 9. 24 times 9, that's 180. That's 36, so 216 equals 8t, I think. Yep. And then if I want to get rid of this 8, this is 8 times t, so I will divide by 8. Divide by 8, again, long division. 8 goes into 21 2 times. That brings me up to 16. 16 is 5 short of 21. 8 goes into 56 7 times. Everything goes away, leaving me just a regular t. So again, that's your fraction review. All it was one problem with a fraction on the left side, the other one with the fraction on the right side. Again, just make sure you're picking the best strategy that'll help you understand this stuff, because that's really what we're coming down to. Reviewing yesterday's work, what we learned yesterday was that three-step equations don't exist, but that they are just problems where you can't solve until it's simplified. There's 3 terms on the left side of this equal sign, which means we have to put these two things together. And remember, we put 5, because it's positive, either plus negative 10, or we put 5 minus 10. Whatever decision you made is good. Just make sure, again, you realize you have to bring it down as a negative 5. So 7h minus 5 equals 37. Now we go. To move a negative 5, we will add 5 to both sides. 7h comes down. 37 and 5 make 42. This is 7 times h, so we will therefore divide by 7. Divide by 7. 7's go away. H comes down. 42 divided by 7 is 6. Very straightforward. Very direct. Honestly, once you get it, very easy. Again, until you get it, though, it does take some time to actually practice doing what you're doing. Key thing, again, is making sure you know how to put those two things together. 6n minus 5 plus 9 equals 34. Again, notice you have 3 things on one side of the equal sign, which means these two things have to go together. So you type negative 5 plus 9, which is 4. That's a positive 4. So therefore, what we will do is put 6n plus 4, because again, it was a regular 4 in the calculator, equals 34. From there, again, to move a positive 4, we will subtract 4 from both sides. 6n comes down, that goes away. 34 minus 4 is 30. How do I move the 6? If it's 6 times n, well, I divide by 6, and I divide by 6. N comes down with 5. So again, those 4 questions we just worked out were review. Today's three-step equation, which if you recall, again, is just an equation that makes you simplify first, just has a different type of like term. If you take good notes, I believe you'll find success again today. Let's just look at those 4 problems and move on. Again, looking at this, there are 3 things on the left side. You shouldn't have any more than 2. 6j plus 3 plus 3j. But 3 and 3j don't go together this time. 3j and 6j go together. And so 6 and 3, because these are both positive, you can do it in your head, but 6 plus 3 makes 9j. Bring down the plus 3 equals 30. So again, 6j and 3j make 9j. bring down to plus 3. From there, how do I move a plus 3? Well, that's by subtracting 3. 9j, that goes away, equals 27. How do I move 9 when it's being attached by the multiplication? And that is by dividing by 9. Getting rid of that, j comes down, equaling just 3. So that is your new problem. Again, not anything major, just something to make sure you're aware that there are two different types of like terms you can put together. If that did not have a variable on it, then you would have put it with the number like we did before. But if you have two terms that have the same variable, those two terms have to go together. B, 5r minus 7 minus 2r. Again, notice these two things can be put together. 5r minus 2r, which again, 5r minus 2r is 3r. Then bring down your minus 7 and go from there. After that, how do I move a minus 7? Well, that is by putting plus 7, because that's what we were trained to do. How do I get rid of 3 when it's directly attached by multiplication? And that is by dividing. R comes down with 9. I think this is pretty simple once you get it. Just make sure you work hard to get it so that you don't get caught up falling behind on this stuff, because again, your test next week is going to even add more stuff. C, solve 7k plus 3 minus 5k equals 11. Again, there's 3 things on one side, and this time the k's can go together. 7 minus 5 is 2k. Bring down your plus 3 and equals 11. This 3 needs to be subtracted. 11 minus 3 is 8. How do I move 2 when it's being attached by multiplication? Divide by 2, divide by 2, and k would equal 4. And that's it. So again, same type of problem as yesterday, except this time we put the variables together, not just the numbers. 4f, 3f, and this one go together. Again, 4x minus 2 plus 3f equals 12. These two things go together. 4 and 3 make 7f. Bring down your minus 2 equals 12. Now I need to move this minus 2, and the way I move the minus 2 is by adding 2. How do I get rid of 7 when it's being multiplied? And that is by dividing by 7. All right. So again, be sure to use your notes with the homework on this lesson. It's not much different than yesterday, but again, you still must show respect to the topics to ensure success. Don't just think you can rush through it. Don't just think that because you feel like you have it understood that you'll get an A on your homework. Take your time, practice it, and as I said, that is really all you're going to see this week was the 2 fractions, the 2 where you add the ones where you add the numbers first, and then the ones where you add the variables first. That's it. So tomorrow is more of a review lesson. Just make sure you log in and get those points and then do the homework. Other than that, I will talk to you later. Good luck.